name's Joey. Welcome to my channel. It's such a great day to be here. I got my pink lemonade treasure box in the mail from Potomac Beads, and you guys, it's really good this month. I love it so much. These are the happiest colors to me. It takes on a little bit of a citrus look because of the yellow and the peach that they added in, but then it's softened with the pink, and they have mixed some gold and silver, which I love, and little dots of flowers and a little bit of sparkle in this box. So I have already designed several projects. I'm going to do one right at the end of my unboxing. So let me show you quickly what is in the kit this month. If you're not familiar with Potomac Beads, the treasure box comes in a magnetic reusable storage box, which is really wonderful. And Potomac Beads is kind of famous for their pearls. They're like really high quality. I used to spend a fortune on Swarovski pearls, and I don't anymore because these are more reasonably priced and the quality is so great, and I'm thrilled that that's our first item up. So I'll just set that aside and go through it. I love the Potomac pearls so much. They have such a perfect weight to them. The finish on them is absolutely wonderful. They don't peel, they don't scratch easily. They are just wonderful, and this is a color that I do not have. These are so beautiful in this rich dark peach. I just love them. And then we got some round trio beads in a lila luster, and I'm going to be using these in several of my projects, but maybe in an unusual way. A trio bead, of course, has 3 holes in it, but you don't have to use the 3 holes. And of course, I have picked up one that is actually missing the 3rd hole. I have a special talent for picking up a bead without a clear hole. I do it almost every video, you guys. It's like, I swear, you're gonna think that I sit here and sort through them to keep it going, but I didn't. I just picked up one, but I can still use this one, and that's what I'm gonna do in my project, is just use the middle hole, and then a round trio is like a regular bead, and these are that sweet 6mm size. I am gonna set that one aside and use it in my first project. And then I love these square beads. We got these gorgeous square lemon yellow beads, and each bead has its own little stripes and color, the way the color moves. Like this one is quite opaque yellow on one side. Some of them, here's one that has a lot more stripiness to it. Each one is a little bit different. They're different from side to side. I absolutely love this bead. I love geometry in jewelry anyway. So squares mixed with rounds is just so aesthetically pleasing. And I just love getting those beads. And then this is another bead that I love because this is a faceted rondelle, but it almost takes on the look of like a pinwheel and kind of a puffy disc spacer at the same time. And for stacking beads, that is just beautiful. And I love that peachy pink color. It's so beautiful. And then this is my favorite colors in the world, this soft like ballet pink or blush pink with a gold wash. And this is a petal bead, so it's so dimensional. It is different on each side. This side is concave, this side is convex, and it has like all of the indents and things like a petal, like a flower petal. So when you string these together, like if you put them together, you get this beautiful dimensional, 3D flower, which I just love. And then this is maybe my favorite thing in this whole box, largely because of this color. This is my favorite color in the world, but this is a check glass 12mm faceted round. The facets on these beads are so gorgeous, and I just absolutely love the way this bead feels in my hand. And we got 5 of them, and they're going to go into my project that I'm going to do with this in this video because I just love those. I woke up at 4 o'clock this morning thinking about these beads. Don't laugh at me, but I got my box late in the day yesterday after a long day of medical appointments, and I opened it and just took a look at everything, and I was really tired. But at 4 a.m. I was awake thinking about those 12mm pink beads and these lemon yellow beads. They're just so beautiful. And then we got a really cool thing in this month's box. These are little tiny curved silver tube beads, and they are by Athena Cast. Most of the Athena Cast metals are made in Greece, and if you are missing Tierra Cast, which went out of business a year and a half ago or so, Athena Cast is a really great alternative. If you go on the Potomac Beads website, you will be shocked at all of the different high quality plated metals made in Greece, from tubes to bead caps to head pins. It just goes on and on. You just won't believe your eyes when you see everything that's there. So these are going to go in my next video. I've already designed a project with them because they are so amazing. And then I'm really excited to have these too, because Potomac Beads has a whole section on their website for crystals. It's quite organized, and the different beads are available in so many different millimeter sizes and colors. And I do a little bit of bead weaving. So this is a really high quality bicones, and we got a crystal AB in 3mm pack of 120, and we got this beautiful 4mm light rose, and this is a pack of 60. So I've already opened my light rose, and I've already done a sample what I'm going to do with this. So I am just thrilled to get these beautiful bicones. They are just absolutely wonderful. And then we received some gold Ava beads. These are 2 whole beads that look like a little arrow, and I love these beads. These are so fun. You can do so much with them. You can even string them this way, and it doesn't have to be needle and thread. You can use bead stringing wire, but you can string them that way, and they almost look like a bead frame. I believe that will fit like a 6mm bead in there. So those are so fun to play with. And then we got these beautiful 7mm glass rounds. I just love these. Aren't they gorgeous? And they're kind of like frosted a little bit. I love those. I'm using those in my project. And we got 2 of these beautiful cabochon coin beads. They are embellished, embossed, 2-sided with this beautiful flower. The background is a gold sort of copper wash, and these are table cut beads, so you can see that like sliced kind of effect where the flower is really smooth. And we got 2 of these, so they are just, you can make charms with these. You can glue these on a filigree metal piece and then work off of the filigree. We could easily make a beautiful pair of earrings. I haven't actually decided what to do with mine yet, but they do look amazing with those dark peach pearls. And the little yellow part of this bead that's table cut really picks up on the beautiful yellow bead, all the yellow beads in the box. So they are just stunning. And then I love these flower pendants. These are also by Athena Cast. It's a hollow flower pendant, and there is like so much you can do with these, but I've already designed a pair of earrings with these beads, and that's going to go in my next video. These are absolutely wonderful. I do wish that we had Feel-O-Vision, because the Athena Cast line is very high quality. And I mean, it is plated, but they're very high quality. They're very stable and just wonderful to work with. I really like the things from this line. And then another favorite of mine, which ironically is not going into this project, but we got some 7x15mm crystal navettes, and they are prong set. A navette is this kind of marquee shape, and it has a hole going across the top and bottom of the points, and these just sparkle like crazy. They are so beautiful, and I really love doing like 2 strands just with bead stringing wire and creating some negative space with either seed beads or some kind of a small druck, and just having these crystals just sparkle. And I'm working on a design with some beautiful beads, flower embossed 2-hole beads from Potomac Beads. And I am thinking that I'm gonna like hoard these for that project, but they are just absolutely gorgeous. We got a pack of 6 of those. And then look at the check glass dagger beads. These are 12 by 6 millimeters, so they're a little bit large, but these are absolutely this gorgeous. It looks like the vintage milk glass, you know, which was made in the industrial age to mimic porcelain. And I just love the color of these dagger beads. And you know, if you take 6 of these and string them, they look just like a daisy. This looks just like daisy petals if you string 6 of them in a circle and tie a knot. And we have these beautiful yellow beads that could go right in the center, and they really do look like a daisy. I was actually already playing with that. And then I just love that Potomac beads always, pretty much as I can remember, they always try to put some seed beads in the treasure box every month. And this month we got these gorgeous 80 Miyuki seed beads, and it's in a really gorgeous colorway called translucent jasmine. They are just so beautiful, and an 80 seed bead is just absolutely wonderful as a spacer. It's also really wonderful, like if you wanted to make a really long pearl necklace with the pearls that are here, you could extend the length of these pearls by stringing maybe 2 or 3 seed beads in between each pearls, and you don't notice the seed beads so much. The pearls are then spaced out, but you like double or even triple the length of pearls. So it's a really inexpensive way to make a strand of really any bead longer than what it is. So I just love that. And then there is something else which I actually meant to do first in this box, which absolutely thrills me. This is a laser cut mini ruler, but not just a ruler. This is a beading ruler, and I absolutely love this. I have a caliper for checking the sizes of beads, but we don't usually need really long measurements, and this is so cool. So it will come with a protective like sheet on the back, and you can just gently peel that away, and it reveals this gorgeous lucite ruler. And like, this is amazing to me. For me, this is so much easier to get my bead sizes than it is to use a caliper. I have an old caliper, but like, I know that this is 6 millimeter, but you can just drop your beads right in the measurement on this ruler. You know, if it doesn't go in, you know that you need to go down one, and that really, when the bead sits right in the center, I don't know if you're able to see, but when the bead sits right in the center of that laser cut opening, then you know that you have that bead measurement. It only goes up to 8 millimeter, but you even have like your seed beads down here. So if you ever have something in your stash that's unmarked, this is so amazing. But if you work in inches like I do, I work in inches, and most of my American friends do work in inches, for like bracelet lengths and things, or cutting wire too. I make a lot of components, and sometimes I need to cut a whole lot of pieces of wire for a project. And so you have this really small, tiny little ruler that's unobtrusive. You could just leave it laying on your mat. I am just like, every month, they don't always do it, but most of the time Potomac Treasure Box will contain a tool or something for our work tables, or something, you know, that is not a bead, that is not a finding. And I am loving what they put in this month. I've been on their website a million times, but I never saw this on the website, and I got so excited. I know it's just a ruler, but I really love it. And so this is the tells you about the protective coating, and this is the same thing that they put in their wood laser cut pieces as well. But I am just thrilled. This is our beautiful unboxing. I'm going to clean up a little bit and come back with my first project. I have these beautiful little pink lemonade check glass bell flowers. I had them in my stash. So these are kind of ombre from yellow to pink, and they're just perfect for this box. I also had just some plain pink ones that kind of go from pink to white, which look really good with it. But I've made one component. I just pulled a gold-filled lobster claw clasp from my stash, and I've taken one of the square beads and done another component. And I am going to do a beaded chain bracelet, and I'm going to take some of my Athena cast ball head pins. Let's see, I have them right here in my tray. I'm going to use some of these 2-inch. These are premium 29 karat gold plated ball head pins from Athena Cast, and that's what I've used. And this is what I was saying about a round duo bead. If you string just through, I'm sorry, not round duo, round trio. If you just string through the middle hole, it looks just like a normal 6mm bead, so you can use it in another way. And that's what I'm going to be doing. So I've made a few little components to get started. Even the light rose crystal bicone was just absolutely perfect. It adds a little bit of sparkle. My crystal rondelle spacers, I had these in my stash, but they are Aurora Borealis. The crystals have that AB finish, so there's going to be a little bit of sparkle to this. And I'm going to be using 20 gauge wire. This is German style wire, and so it's half hard, and it is got an anti-tarnish coating on it. And oh, wrong size. I want to use my 2 1/4mm one-step looper to make these loops right here, because I think I'm just going to be connecting my components one right to the other, and the larger loop makes your chain a little bit more articulated, flows a little bit better. So when I have to do a beaded chain, I love this tool. It saves my hand, and I'm just going to keep it in my hand and swing it out of the way and just make my next component. So these gorgeous baby pink faceted check glass beads just make my heart sing. So I am not going to embellish them any further. I am just going to turn them into a component. Now on such a large bead, sometimes the one-step looper will not close the loop all the way, but I am not going to touch those loops right now because I'm going to make my components, and I have to put my pliers to every single one of those loops anyway to open it and connect it for my chain. So I am just going to make my components this way and just string up a few of these beads and put simple loops on the end. I'm telling you, I have a knack for picking up a bead with a blocked hole. Okay, it's not the bead, it's my wire. Every now and then you'll get like a little burr or like a funny little bend to the end of your wire, and then it doesn't want to let your beads go through. That's what it was. I'm so used to finding the one bead in a pack of 200 that has no hole that I thought I had done it again. Okay, I'm just going to make these. I'll just get all these components done just this way, and you can totally make these simple loops with your pliers on a square bead or an odd shaped bead. You know, it doesn't always close the loop really well, but I'm going to go back and tidy them all up anyway because, you know, I have to make a beaded chain. So I'm going to do most of this off camera and get what I need for my desired length, and I'll come back and show you how we're going to finish this up and how I plan to embellish it by adding in these pink lemonade bellflowers. I like to finish beading where it fits my wrist like that, and then the space I need for my clasp will, you know, give me the movement that I want. So I am really happy with the way this turned out because I wanted as many of these baby pink large faceted rounds in here as I could. So I love the quantity that my length gave me. And then with my Athena Cast ball head pin, I'm taking one of those 7mm beads, a crystal rondelle spacer, and one of the round duos. I'm sorry, I keep saying round duo, round trio. And I'm going to use the one that had a blocked hole because I only need the middle hole of the bead to make this little drop. And so I did use my 2 1/4mm one-step looper for the lengths for my bracelet, but I'm going to go down to the 1.5mm for my little dangles, or for my section. I'm going to do a little bit of a cluster, not a really full cluster, but a little bit of a cluster section. Okay, and so what I decided to do is to switch things up. I'm going to use some of just the pink flowers that don't have the yellow, and this is one of my handmade coiled head pins, and I just think it looks so great peeking out of the middle of a bellflower. And then a crystal rondelle spacer and one of those little 4mm bicones just tops it off perfectly. It just sits down in there just right. And same thing, I'm going to do a simple loop on this, and I'll show you exactly how easy it is to get a coiled, I'm closing these really well before I move on because I'm going to string these on a jump ring. But there is that little component, and this one and this one. I have to do one more. I want one more with my Athena cast ball head pin. So I'm just going to thread on one of those 7mm yellow beads, a crystal rondelle spacer, and a round trio bead, just using the middle hole. And same thing, put a simple loop in here. And just close it. Like to close them and just work hard in my loops a little bit. See, there's still a little bit of space there. Much better. So that little drop is done, and then I'm going to do one more, and I'll show you exactly how I do my coiled head pins. I like my 6-step bail making plier. Whoops, wrong one. This is my other favorite bail making plier, but I'm going to use my 6-step bail making plier because the smallest step on this really makes a nice coil. And I'm just going to come to the end of this piece of wire and just get a little turn in there, and then just going to push it against my finger and just lay one wrap or one coil right beside the previous one. And so if it's not a super neat coil when you do this, there's a couple of options, so don't get frustrated. And I'm going to do this a little bit extra of coiling because it's going to be some of it will be hidden inside the bellflower. So let's see, maybe one more turn. And then before I take this off the tool, like right there where I can see that my coil is not tight, I'll just tighten those up. But the other option you have if you don't get a good coil, if if it comes out a little messy and you're not happy with it, is to just snip the last coil once you take it off. And then since this is going to be a head pin, I'm going to use my tool to help me, and I'm just going to bend that straight up while it's in the tool. So that just helps me to get a good direction with this. And then, I'm a fuss budget with my jewelry, so I'll always come back and, kind of tidy things up, just make sure that last coil is in line. But like I said, if you're not happy with like the way it finished up, you can come in and snip a little bit of it too. Let's put it inside the flower and see what it looks like. I even like them going off a little bit to the side when they're inside my bellflowers. It just looks really cool. And then I'm going to do the same thing, a crystal rondelle spacer and a bicone bead and a simple loop with a small 1-step looper. You have to be careful with this tool, even with your pliers, when you have your last bead a crystal, because you can very easily break it. So I just slow way down and just make sure that I'm not chomping down on my crystal. Close it, work hard. And so my little section of beads for my cluster is done. So I am going to, I am going to use my finest jump rings. These are gold filled and they are diamond cut. And I am going to gather up all of my little dangles on one jump ring. And I'm going to alternate my flowers with my little bead stacks. And then I'm going to do something a little funny. I'm going to come, let's see, do I want it on this end? Yeah, I think I want it on this end. So I'm going to take this jump ring, and instead of hooking it through a loop, I'm going to grab around the whole circumference. It really wants to go in that loop, but I don't want it to. I'm going to do it around the circumference of the links and close this really well. And what that does is, no matter which way I pick up my bracelet to put it on, because it's a beaded chain, so you know it's two-sided. It doesn't really have a front or a back or a right way to put it on. Let me just get it closed really well. I love the quality of these jump rings. When you close them really well, you cannot see that it's not a solid ring. So that way, no matter which way I pick up this bracelet to put it on, this little section of like flower garden section is just going around and around, and it won't get stuck. And I just love it. It's almost like a flower tassel. I'm just crazy for it. And then this little lobster claw clasp came with a gold-filled, really small gold-filled jump ring, and I think I will use that to connect it to this end right here, to my pink bead, and close that really well, really well. And then on this end, I'm going to use, what I love about this assortment is that I think there were, I can't remember if there's 3 or 4 sizes, but I could even use another large one on this end. Maybe I'll go up to the large on this end. And that's going to be my ring that my lobster claw clasps onto. I'm telling you, the quality of these is so good. I can almost never find where they are cut, where the opening is. So I'm just going to add this right here. And these jump rings will make my bracelet a little bit longer than I would normally make it, but I like to do that when I have large beads like this because they take up more space on your wrist. And so what happens when you connect it is you get you get the right fit. So of course that's a little bit busy, although I don't actually mind it with my colorful bracelets, but I love a beautiful beaded chain, and I just love this little dangling section. I love the way it lays on my wrist. That is just absolutely gorgeous. And is there anything happier than the pink and yellow? It's just absolutely gorgeous. And I love a bracelet like this too. It gives me something to play with. So the last thing I will do is take my Permalac anti-tarnish coating. That is also from Potomac Beads. All of my chain has an anti-tarnish coating on it, so I don't have to do that. And my lobster claw clasp is gold filled. So the only thing that on here that will get a coating is my crystal rondelle spacers, and the Athena cast head pins are just plated. So I will just take my Permalac coating, and the cool thing about this coating is if you are using the semi-gloss, you can take this and brush it right over crystals. So like my AB crystal rondelle spacers will continue to sparkle. It does not dull the finish at all to brush the Permalac on. And then I usually just touch my little ball head pins, because on a bracelet, you know, it's going to be touching skin, and plating, even if it's really high quality, over time it can wear off. So I love this product because it really adds quality to my work. And so I'm just going to get my brush around, and it dries completely clear. So if you accidentally touch a bead with your brush, it doesn't do anything to your project or cloud your bead. So I'm going to just do all my little charms, and as usual, check the description box. I'll put links to my little check glass bellflowers, to the Potomac Beads website, my Permalac coating, and I always have a list of my favorite tools because I read every single comment, and I know that a lot of you are new to making jewelry and just starting to gather tools, and you know, you have questions about which pliers are right, and I'm a toolaholic, so like that's why I got so excited over getting the ruler, because I love tools. I feel like with the right tool I can do anything, and so I always have that list in my description boxes. So I thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, tap the bell notification, and when I come back, that way you won't miss the notification, and I do have a really cool, actually it may turn into several projects for my next video with this box. I'm really excited to get started. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you in the next video.